So this is an exclusive live training that I hosted for my mentorship students, and it's going to walk you through step by step how to onboard your social media marketing clients using AI. You see, when you get your first client or even your 10th client, there's always that moment of panic. They pay the invoice, you get paid, things are amazing. But what do you do next? That panic starts to creep in. Have you set the right expectations? Do you have everything you need from the client? And you're thinking, I need to get this project up and running as soon as possible, right? The sooner you get it up and running, the sooner you can get feedback from the client, the sooner you can make sure everything is A-okay. So if you do not have an organized process for onboarding your clients, it's going to be a mess. And your clients will see that and your clients might leave. Quite frankly, this is your chance to make the best impression. This is your first real chance as them being your paying client. What better way to do it than using AI? Because what we can do here, as you'll see, is we will feed all the information we have about this client to AI, and that will help us structure a project management system and a to-do list that is easy to follow. So I'm going to run the training here in a moment, and I really, truly hope you get some value.
This is an example of a prompt that you could use to manage better with AI. Okay, so I'll go through this. Let's read it. Below, in quotes, is a voice transcription or a voice note explaining my project or my client and the rough steps it will entail. This is the task. Write a markdown list of key priorities for my current project. Write all the to-do list items that were named in order that they were listed. Do not wrap responses in quotes. The formatting should look like this. Project name 1, priority task 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, then you would insert whatever voice note or a text or transcription, whatever is the easiest way for you to explain this. And then I can go ahead and show you a live example of this for, say, client onboarding, for content ideation, and so on and so forth. So bear with me and I'm going to get that ready. All right, so I've just copy and pasted our information from that slide here into Perplexity. Again, you could use a different tool such as ChatGPT. All right, so I've got this is my prompt right here. And then as you see here, I need to insert either a voice note or transcription or a text. A text works fine as well, to explain all the details. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm going to do an example here for client onboarding. We're going to start with that, and we can also do one for client content ideation. Okay. So let's just do client onboarding. Okay. So this is my prompt. Now in this case, because I'm recording this video, I can't really go and record a voice note at the same time or a voice transcription. So I'm going to type this out. Okay. I'm going to make it very messy. You'll see this is not going to be written out perfectly, and that's the point. Okay. So let's get into it. I'm just going to word vomit. I'm just going to say, all right, I just signed a new client for $1,000 per month. What are they paying? Okay. They're paying for me to manage their social media and create content such as, give examples, graphics, videos, Instagram Reels to their profile each day, 1 post per day. See, I'm trying to word vomit and give as much info as I can, because if I don't give this info, it will just give me back generic stuff. Okay, so I need to be as specific as I can. And ideally you would do this fresh, right? So I've just had my call with the client, right? It's all in the top of my head. Let me just get it all out there. Now you'll see here, I mentioned previously that you could do a voice transcription. So if you're using another AI tool, which we're going to cover later, it will transcribe your calls, and you would literally just take the text from that call, right? Because the tool will turn it into text, and you would just, boom, give it all to AI, and it's going to do it for you. Okay, so we're just going to do this off the top of our heads for this example, but you can start to see and probably piece together how this becomes very powerful. Okay, so 1 post per day. I also need to write the captions for each graphic / video. And then, for example, in this case, I'm going to say I am not a graphic designer / video editor and can only do basic content edits in, let's say, CapCut or Canva. And then I want to say, okay, I want to hire a graphic designer and video editor to help with creating really good quality work for the client. Their end goal is to sell more products and grow their following each month. Now, what am I missing? I'm missing details about the client. Okay, we've written down how much they're paying, what they want, what they're essentially paying for. I haven't given any information about the client themselves. So the client is a female fitness coach, and she helps parents, mostly women, how to lose weight after giving birth, right? So I'm giving all the specifics. She does this by giving them a training plan for the gym, a nutrition guide to follow, and also mindset training / coaching such as meditation, etc. Okay, so I'm giving it as much as I can. Now, okay, you'll see I've given so much information that we can't even see my cursor anymore. So you're just going to have to believe me when I type this out, and you'll see it when I go ahead and hit send. All right. So now I'm going to write my prompt. I've gotten my prompt here, right? Which is, create a markdown list of key priorities for my current project. So that's pretty good. And I'm going to review this and see, okay, is there anything I need to add here? No, it looks good. The only thing I'm going to add here is a note. I want you to create this list of priorities so I know how to effectively deliver this on time to my client as fast as possible, but with the best quality, and ensuring she reaches her goal of getting new, or in this case, getting new clients and selling to more people. All right, let's hit the big send button and let's see what happens, okay? So this is what it will look like in Perplexity, and most likely most tools look like this. All right, so it's going to do a little search and then give you back the information. So let's read through. It says the project, social media management for fitness coach, and it's giving me the list, right, that I've just asked for. So it's saying hire a graphic designer, hire a video editor, cool. Create a content calendar, develop a social media strategy, set up content creation workflow, design graphics for Instagram posts, create video content, etc. Now you'll see this is really good. All right, and there's a lot that they've added in here that we don't need to do, but there's also a lot in here that we need to expand on. So for example, there's certain points that I'm going to get them to remove. Okay. So if I read through this, monitor and engage with followers. Maybe my client has not paid for that. Maybe my client is just paying for me to create the content and post it. So I'm going to get rid of that point specifically. So number 10, track growth metrics. That's fine. Analyze performance. Yep. Showcase success stories. Fine. Benefits of the program. Yep. Create content focusing. Yep. That all looks good. Implement hashtag strategy. Okay. 19, collaborating with influencers. They're not paying me for doing that. 20, setting up lead generation campaigns. They're not paying me to do that. That's most likely paid advertising. Establish a consistent brand voice. Perfect. And I'm also going to say resend the list by expanding on each point and making sure the list is in order of priority. So for example, point, if I go here 22, which if I copy and paste it, right? Point 22, establish a consistent brand voice, seems like it should be done at the start. Cool. So I'm going to send that now and see what comes back with. And this is where you can see AI is not this magic thing. It's not this thing that's going to read your mind and get everything correct. Okay. So for example, that's something I can just see from being in the game where maybe the brand voice, we should probably try and look at getting that clear before we create the content, right? So let's send that off and see what it comes back with. Okay, great. So now look, we've gotten more detail. This is what I wanted. Okay, so like give me more specifics on these points. It's removed those points that we mentioned and it's still going. Great. See, now you have something to work with. Now let's go a step further, because this right here now is just a big block of text giving you step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay. Let's see if it can give us a rough timeline. I'll say, great. Now I need to create a rough timeline for this project so I can deliver it on time to my client. My client is expecting me to post the first batch of content in the next 2 weeks latest. Give me a rough timeline for each point so I know when I should be moving on from task A to B, etc. All right, let's see what comes back. Hopefully this will give us a nice breakdown. Like, you know, again, depending on how you prompt this, it might do it like you can see here, it's doing the date. So it's looking at the date today, which is March 14th, and it's building it out that way, which for me, that's pretty useful. I could follow that pretty well. You might be more of a visual person and you might ask it to do it visually as well. But as you can see here, now we have a plan, right? We went from closing a sales call, getting a client on board, them paying us an amount of money that we've maybe never made before, we're a bit scared about. And all of a sudden, now we've got this. Okay, we've got a very clear, okay, this is what I need to do in the next 2 weeks. So on day 1 and 2, all right, today and tomorrow, I'm going to focus on the brand voice and the social media strategy. All right, so what am I doing here? I'm researching. And look, you might say, hey, Adam, this is still confusing for me. I'll go, okay, let's go deeper, right? Let's say, great. For days 1 to 2, can you give me more ideas of how I can execute each of those points? And then paste it back just so it knows exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so if you were confused and you're like, yeah, but I don't quite get social media strategy. Like what does that even mean? How do I go about that process? Well, let's see. Okay, and you probably know this by now, but if not, it's fine. Just, you know, again, use the AI and see what it can give you back, okay? So let's see. Very excited to see what we get back. All right. Cool. So it's saying for day 1, establishing the brand voice, it says I should review my client's mission and values. Cool. All right. So think back to the client, like who they're trying to help. What's that true, you know, core value that business owner holds. Keywords and phrases that reflect their personality and approach. Cool. Define brand voice characteristics. Okay. So like adjectives. So for example, are they encouraging? You know, for example, some people on social media would not be encouraging. They would be the opposite of that. And that's part of their brand voice. Brand voice guidelines. Yeah. Okay. This all makes sense. Analyze successful content. Perfect. All right. So looking at their audience, what has worked well with them. And if they're brand new, I would obviously look at their competitors or people that are posting similar content, or, you know, targeting similar clientele, right? Create maybe some sample content, maybe get some feedback like that. Yeah. On the team. Perfect. So you can see here, guys, what we're doing here is we're using AI. It's not perfect from day 1, but we're getting so much more clarity as we go through this.
So there you have it. That is just one little example of how you could use AI to streamline your onboarding process for your marketing business. Yes, there's other tools and softwares you can use, but this is just one example of how we go about using AI. That's one of the many trainings that are inside of my brand new AI course that my mentorship students have automatic access to. The AI Accelerator is teaching you step by step exactly how to use AI for every part of your social media marketing business, whether that's with prospecting and signing clients, onboarding your clients as you've just seen, or actually using AI to create content. It's a full stack program. If you'd like to know more about working with myself, where you can get my mentorship, but you can also get the AI Accelerator, you'll see some information in the description of this video where you can go and learn about that. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.